Hello there. The first round has ended, and as you can see, I'm in this kind of camp here. They didn't have any room in the hotel because I booked it the last time, so I had to find accommodation in this kind of camp. And maybe you can hear, probably the rain should start soon, and there is some wind, but I hope we'll be able to make the video nevertheless. Okay, so this is second round. I missed the first round because I couldn't make it. So now I'm playing the second round, and these ratings are national ratings in our Croatian Chess Federation. So you can see that I'm facing a stronger opponent. And okay, let's go to the game. So I played e4 as I usually do. My opponent played c5. So we are in the Sicilian. I'm just developing my knight. He plays e6. So usually here, if he plays something like knight to c6, then I play bishop to b5, playing this kind of Sicilian, but okay, c6 is okay. Now there is no point of playing bishop b5 because he'll just chase away my bishop, so I'm playing c3, which I will play anyway. Now he played the knight to c6, and we are just transposing, and I'm playing this bishop to b5. Here my opponent played queen to c6, so he's defending the knight. In case I take the knight, he doesn't have to ruin his pawn structure. This is a typical idea. Here I just castled. He played knight to f6, developing his knight, and also attacking my pawn, so rook to e1, just defending the pawn. And now he played d6 here. And this is the first position in which I gave a little thought, but my conclusion was that I don't see any reason why not to play d4. If you can play d4, you should play d4. My king is safe, I have castled, I still need to develop my knight and my bishop. So yeah, I just played d4. He took the pawn, I took back. And now he played the bishop to d7, because the threat was, well, d5 would be a threat here, because you can see my rook is aligned with the king, and his knight is pinned here, so he's basically just unpinning the knight. But d5 is still a good move, I think, and I did play d5. And now my advantage is something like plus 1.5. So already I have a huge advantage. You can see that I control the center, I'm pushing pawn forward, he didn't castle, he didn't develop, my rook is aligned to his king, I'm attacking, so I have a great position. He played the knight to e5 here. Okay, now I just took the bishop. Maybe I could avoid taking the bishop, but yeah, I don't need this slide square bishop anywhere, so I just took it. I'm sorry, my mouse is lagging because I'm on a hard wooden table, so maybe there is a little bit noise, and my mouse is, let me try to do something. Maybe it's making a noise. Sorry about that. Okay, let's try like this. So he took with the queen. Okay. And now, well, I saw the opportunity to isolate his queen's pawn, so I took this pawn. Now, if he takes with the pawn, then his king is kind of exposed and he still has two hanging pawns. And if he takes with the queen, which he did, then now this is a permanent weakness. So I can play on this weakness because he cannot push the pawn, and this is a backward pawn, and it's also isolated pawn, so I can play on this weakness. So now it's time to develop my knight to c3. I'm also controlling d5 square, so he cannot push the pawn, and I'm also defending my pawn, so it's okay. Now he develops his bishop to e7. And here, okay, there are several possibilities which I was considering. One is to play knight to b5, threatening this triple fork here. Okay, my mouse is doesn't like this table, okay. Or something like knight to d5, which again threatens the fork. Then there is a possibility of knight to d4, which attacks the queen. Then there is a possibility of knight to g5, which attacks the queen. So I have many active moves. But now I'm starting to dream about this outpost. And in fact, I remembered one game played by Bobby Fischer, which is given in the Simple Chess book, in which he exchanged all, he saw the outpost, and then he exchanged all the pieces which can challenge the outpost, and he ended up with a great knight. And I was just discussing this game with my student during one of my recent private chess lessons. So I remember this, and I said, well, why not? Why not try? So if I want to keep the knight here on this outpost, I have to eliminate all the pieces which can attack my knight, and these pieces are these two knights just. So I want to remove these two knights, and then put my perfect knight on d5. And okay, the engine doesn't like this plan very much, but I think from the human perspective, this is a great plan. And in fact, let me show you this game by Fischer to know what do I mean. So this is the game played by Bobby Fischer against some guy, Alicia Gadia. I don't know who he is. Anyway, the game started with Sicilian, like my game, but it was different, open Sicilian. Okay, so the idea was, after some opening moves, okay, yeah, now this position is very interesting. So right here, Bobby Fischer noticed that he can put the knight on d5. It was his early plan, maybe to challenge this pawn with f5 and then to put the knight on d5. And in order to secure the outpost of this knight here, he has to exchange all of the white pieces, all of black pieces which can challenge the outpost. And this is the bishop, knight, and other knight. So he wants to trade bishop, knight, and other knight for his knight, bishop, and other bishop. And this is what he did. So in the next few moves, he exchanged all the pieces. Okay. So this is what he wanted to do, and now this outpost is free. And once he put the knight on this outpost, black cannot challenge this knight anymore, because he has only dark square bishop, and this dark square bishop is blocked by his own pawn in the center. So I got similar position in my game, very similar actually, and it was the same plan. And it was in this position that Bobby Fischer wrote, "This is the position I have in my dreams." So I thought about this in my game. So let's go back to my game, and I basically did the same. So first bishop g5, he castled, then I took the knight. Okay, he took with the pawn, thinking that okay, now he doesn't have a weakness, he doesn't have isolated pawn, so it looks okay for him. But now I took another knight, and now I put the knight here. So you can see this is my game, and this is Bobby Fischer's game. Very similar. Outpost, dark square bishop, outpost on the light square. There is a pawn blocking the bishop. So I have the same here. Outpost, actually it's the same outpost. Yeah, the d5 outpost. Yeah, d5 outpost, bishop, and the pawn blocking the bishop. So very similar position like in this Bobby Fischer game. But of course, I'm not Bobby Fischer, and the difference between me and Bobby Fischer is that Bobby Fischer went and win this game in just a few moves. So this game went on like something like this, and yeah, he just won the game. So yeah, Bobby Fischer won in few moves, and I lost in a little bit more than few moves. Okay, so the game continues. Now I have the great position. He played rook a to d8. Kind of pinning my knight, but I don't care, he cannot attack this knight. But in any case, I played queen to b3, now my queen is attacking the pawn, and also it can come here and attack the king if need be. And now we played bishop to g5. And this was first tactical mistake I did. So the correct move here was to take the pawn. I saw this. After he challenges my queen, he can take my pawn, but I can take another pawn. And now he can take the pawn, and I'm a pawn up, and I have a pass pawn. So this is very simple tactics which I have missed. In fact, this is the error. How does Heisman calls this? He has some word, quiescence error or something like this. When you stop calculating too early. So I calculated queen takes pawn. He challenges my queen. I have to move my queen away, and then he takes my pawn. I didn't calculate. Okay, if he challenges my queen, I can just take the pawn. So what good is superb position if you make this kind of tactical mistakes? Yeah, this is eternal question. So I have a great position, but yeah, my tactics, I don't know, it's just not good. So this is why I didn't take the pawn, but I play rook to e2, thinking that now I'm defending the pawn, and also I was thinking about maybe transferring the rook on c2, because now he's controlling c1, I cannot put the rook here. But now he just pushed b6, so I cannot take the pawn anymore. And now I thought that my queen is useless here, so I transferred it on the other side of the board, attacking the bishop. And he played bishop to f4. And now this is second tactical mistake I did. So I was thinking here that he hates this knight so much, because I would hate this knight if I was him, that he's just sacrificing a pawn in order to get rid of this knight. And I thought, okay, well, this knight is great, but pawn is a pawn. So I took the bishop, he took with the pawn, I took back, great, I'm up the pawn. And then immediately he played queen to a2. And I just didn't see so far. Now, of course, I cannot take because there is a mate here, back rank mate. So here I didn't see these tactics that when I take and after we exchange everything, he has queen takes a2. So yeah, this is how it played out. Okay, and now, well, now it's equal. I don't have my great knight anymore. The material is equal. Maybe he's even a little bit more better because he has outside passed pawn. He can create outside passed pawn. I cannot. So it's equal, or he's maybe even a little better. And now I sunk. You know, this happened to me so many times that I have a superior position with a higher rated player. I overplay them. I get a great position. I get everything. I succeed in realizing all my plans, and then I just go on and lose because I don't see some simple tactics. So I think psychologically here I was very sunk. I just thought to myself, okay, here we go again. Great position, stronger player, I will lose the game, or maybe I have fight for a draw basically. So from this point on I played very quickly and not very accurately. So rook to c1, rook was attacked. It's still equal, but yeah, here there is, you know, when you have queen and two rooks, there are so many options. You have to calculate very hard, and I just wasn't in the mood for this. So he played queen to a4. Now he's threatening this check here with mate. So I have to defend. So I play queen to e3. Now I can block the check. He played h6, giving luft for his king. I played f3, also giving luft for my king, but also securing this e4 pawn, which could be hanging. Now he played queen to d7, wanting to double the rooks. I played b3, blocking this diagonal, so I don't need to be afraid of this check anymore. He played queen to b5, and now something I missed. The threat here is to play rook to d3 and win the pawn. And I just didn't see this. I played rook to c2, trying to maybe get some activity, maybe penetrate to the 7th rank. But yeah, now rook to d3 is coming, attacking the queen and the pawn. I play this queen to e2. I'm now fighting for a draw, and I was also tired. I was traveling. It took me some time to get to this dream position, so I wanted to exchange queens just so I don't have to calculate so much. He took the pawn, I exchanged queens. Okay. It's still equal according to the engine. Now I'm penetrating to c7. I'm trying to play for the activity. He has double pass pawns. I'm trying, maybe I can put the rook here and another rook here and maybe win this pawn. But the problem is that it doesn't work. So after a5 I played rook to b7. And now I was hoping, you know, if I play rook to c6, this pawn must fall. But he just played a4. And now I don't have time. Now if I go here and push the pawn, he'll just push this pawn. He has a check if he wants here. He can even sacrifice the rook. So for example, if I play here, he can push. I take, he can push, and yeah. Now I'm losing. He either promotes or I lose the rook if I try to defend promotion and so forth. So I don't have time to do anything like this. Okay. So what did I do here? Okay, I attacked the pawn, trying to stop the pawn. He played rook b4. He had good technique here. Now I'm desperately trying to include my king in the game, but he just plays b5. So he'll just now, you know, connect pawns, push the rook, push pawns, and so forth. It's a very easy game for him. And now, but technically it's still equal according to the engine. But now I made the final blunder and I played queen to e3. What I should have done, maybe even some moves before, is to play for the activity and go for rook c7. And I was thinking about this, but I just thought that he's too fast here. But I could have played rook c7 even before, or at least now, and then push this pawn. I think even before. Yeah, here I should have played rook to c7, I think, no. Okay, here. rook c7 would work, I think. And then push this pawn, and then maybe go for the perpetual here. Perpetual check and try to fight for a draw like this. So here was, okay, we are now in this position. So the last chance here was to play rook to c7, which I didn't. I wanted to include my king in the game. Sorry, it was after b5, rook c7. So I played king to e3, and now this is beyond repair. So he just delivered check, king to d2. I'm hoping to bring the king to help with these two pawns, but it's impossible. He's just pushing the pawns, a3. I play rook to c2, trying maybe to, you know, go with the king behind or something. He just plays b4, and now, yeah, he has some threats. I don't know why I didn't continue with this plan. Rook to c1. Anyway, I played rook to a2, kind of stopping the pawn, but now he just gives check. King c2, attacking the rook, but he has this check. And okay, I allowed him to mate. I know it's a great pleasure to deliver checkmate, and he was playing very well, so he deserved it. So I played this king to b1, and he just delivered checkmate. So kudos to my opponent. He allowed me the better position, but then using tactics, he managed to equalize the game and then win the game. So this is the same old story, you know. You can be a great positional player, you can have great understanding of chess, you can have great knowledge of chess. I mean, I don't want to be false modest here, or you know, pretend, but I have some chess knowledge, obviously, because immediately I saw the position. I remembered the Fischer game, and I did exactly the same things which Fischer did, and I was proud of myself, and I managed to outplay him positionally. But it doesn't work. It just but it's just worthless if you cannot you know, keep track of simple tactics in the position. Then, you know, tactics beats position every time. So yeah, I lost the game, and looking forward to the next round. Tomorrow is the next round. I play 2 rounds tomorrow, so I will try to make the videos. As you can see, I don't have some conditions here in this camp, but I will do my best. So thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.